if male gymnasts were placed in women's gymnastics, women would still be on top. And this whole conversation about male gymnasts being in women's gymnastics actually started with this. And if you don't know what happened, let me give you a quick 30-second recap as to what happened. So this is Riley Gaines. She is a former collegiate swimmer, and she actually tied 5th place with a transgender swimmer during a meet. And ever since then, she has basically made it her mission to show lack of support for transgendered women playing in women's sports. So Simone Biles called her out, said a few things that were a little bit personal, a little bit of shade was thrown, and then Simone Biles just ended up apologizing. I mean, it's really weird that Riley Gaines is on this hate campaign about transgenders being in women's sports, because even if the transgender swimmer was not in the race, she was still in 5th, like 4 other women beat her, but I digress. But ever since this topic came out, people have basically been saying that if male gymnasts were in women's gymnastics, that they would absolutely dominate, and this is why it's unfair. And I'm here to tell you that if you put male gymnasts in women's gymnastics, women would still be on top. And the reason why is because men's gymnastics and women's gymnastics are almost like 2 completely different sports. If you watch men's gymnastics, right, what do you see? You see them focus on a lot of upper body strength, whereas in women's gymnastics, the focus is more on lower body strength and as well as flexibility and things like that. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched men's gymnastics at all, but for the most part, those men are not flexible. They are not your Suni Lee or your Jordan Child, and that's just your average gymnast. We didn't even get to Simone Biles, the greatest gymnast of all time, where she is above that basic. Her difficulty is so high that the men would just not be able to top her in anything. Hence why there are about, 7 moves named after her? So ultimately, no. Male gymnasts cannot compete in women's gymnastics. They cannot top in women's gymnastics. Same way in which women cannot go and top in men's gymnastics. The focus are just way too different. So let's start with those comments. Let's just end that right there. What do you think?